You know, it's funny how silence can be the loudest sound in your life. There's something so familiar about those restless nights, the long, lonely hours staring up at the darkness, waiting for sleep that just won't come. You finally drift off, but you know how it goes. Your body nudges you awake. That undeniable urge to get up, shuffle through the dim hallway, and make yet another trip to the bathroom. And then again and again. By sunrise, it's as if the night was just one endless marathon of wake-ups, not rest. For years, everyone told us to watch out for high blood pressure, a tricky heart, sore hips and knees. Turns out, for so many of us, that isn't what keeps life tough once we pass 50. Instead, it's those unpredictable, exhausting nights shredded into tiny pieces by constant interruptions. Sleeplessness isn't trivial. It chips away at our health in quiet, invisible ways. I've seen sleep deprivation raise blood pressure, wear out the heart, even fray the sharpness of the mind. And every night, thousands live with this, thinking, well, what do you expect? That's just getting older. Let's be honest, how many times have you walked that late-night path to the bathroom? 2, 4, maybe 5 times in one night? It's easy to shrug it off, convince ourselves it's just part of aging. But here's the truth, it's a dangerous myth. Every extra trip, every moment spent awake isn't just a harmless nuisance, it's an attack on the body's resilience. Lost sleep accelerates aging, weakens blood vessels, drains the heart, and leaves you foggy, unsteady, and vulnerable. There's an even sharper risk, the risk of falling. In the quiet of night, one misstep, one half-awake stumble, and suddenly a fractured hip becomes a cruel new reality. I have known more than a few friends who ended up lost inside a hospital room for months, all because of a midnight accident that nobody ever imagined would happen. These nighttime episodes that seem, trust me, they add up and they change lives in ways most people never see coming. Please, don't let your nights turn into silent suffering. There's a better way. In the next moments together, I'll show you what lies underneath this struggle and simple shifts that can help you reclaim the kind of sleep you deserve. My name is Mary, and as someone who's spent a lifetime supporting people just like you bet I've heard every story there is. Over decades, I've seen the despair in tired eyes, felt the frustration in broken mornings, and I'm here to say it is not normal, no matter what anyone tells you. There are answers, and you don't need magic pills or expensive procedures to find relief. 8 times out of 10, I've helped people get back to peaceful nights just by changing routine, not prescriptions. You'd be amazed what can happen if you know how to prepare yourself for rest, which old habits to drop, and which new ones to welcome in. And in this session, I'm going to walk you through the real steps, the methods that actually work, not fads or wishful thinking. You'll hear why the aging body acts out at night, which foods fight against our rest, and which bring peace back into your hours of sleep. There's a simple nightly routine that has made all the difference, both for myself and so many I know. But we're only just beginning. We'll look at why the foods you eat in the evening are secretly undermining your kidneys and bladder, why a cup of tea or a salty snack late at night can undo a whole day's effort toward health. I'll share true stories from folks just like you who turned their nights around with one change in what they ate after sunset. Stick with me, because I'll explain ideas few doctors ever talk about, and you'll see none of this is a commercial or a miracle, just everyday biology you can use. Keep listening until the end, and you'll realize that tonight could be the night you finally start waking, rested and ready to enjoy tomorrow. Let's talk for a minute about what's really happening inside us as we get older. In our youth, our bodies were well-oiled machines. Our kidneys kept everything humming. Our bladders were patient. And the hormones that control our nighttime water balance never let us down. But somewhere along the line, sometimes gradually, sometimes seemingly overnight, things change. It's as if our inner systems start playing by a different set of rules. Take your kidneys, for instance. Over time, they just can't manage salt and sugar the way they once did. Maybe you treat yourself to some salty chips or a little cured meat after dinner, and it seems innocent enough. But your body notices. That sodium makes your system scramble to get rid of excess water, and you guessed it, that usually happens while you're trying to sleep. I've watched dear friends all across California, from Sacramento to Oceanside, fall into the same trap. A cozy evening snack and then endless nighttime trips that steal their peace. There's another piece of the puzzle: hormones. When we're young, our bodies produce enough of the right ones to tell our bladder, "It's nighttime, relax, don't worry." But after 60, those hormone levels can drop. Our bladders get extra sensitive, and every ounce of water feels like an emergency. Even just a modest amount left in your bladder will wake you, and suddenly you're back in motion, searching for the bathroom, no matter how tired you are. But it's not only a matter of age, it's about what we do before bed. The foods we eat, especially in the evening, determine just how restful our night will be. Salted foods hang on to water, sweets spike blood sugar and throw off fluid balance, while certain drinks like tea or coffee act like invitations to the bathroom. Listen, I've met plenty of people who believed fruit was the answer for late-night cravings, but even that can backfire. Fruits are loaded with fructose, and our kidneys under stress just work harder, not smarter, as we sleep. Sometimes it's even a low-grade irritation, like a little unnoticed bladder inflammation, or, for men, prostate changes that amplifies those nighttime urges. Even if there's no major illness, just a touch of inflammation can make every drop feel urgent. But here's the truth most people miss. In 7 cases out of 10, these restless nights aren't caused by diseases. They're the result of everyday habits that add up, little by little. Every cup of tea before bed, every pinch of salt on your dinner salad, each sweet treat quietly building toward a night that's anything but peaceful. And there are even more subtle culprits on the way, habits and choices almost no one realizes are sabotaging their rest. Evenings can be so deceptive. We think of them as our calm, comforting hours, dinner shared with someone you love, a favorite show, that one little snack to tide us over. Yet it's right there that our choices set the stage for what's to come after midnight. The salt in those comfort foods holds onto water. A teaspoon of honey, a cookie, or a piece of cake causes a spike in insulin, sending the body into cleanup mode exactly when it should be winding down. Even the herbal tea so many of us trust to relax can send us running to the bathroom before dawn. My neighbor Carol, who lives just outside Fresno, struggled with this for years. She'd wind down with a sandwich and salty pickles, a mug of her favorite chamomile, and then each night, the same story, 3-4 times up, desperately wishing for just one full night's sleep. Once she once she checked her habits for lighter evening fare, she told Mary. Once she traded those habits for lighter evening fare, she told me, Mary, I had no idea just how much better life could feel after a real night's sleep. And the story keeps repeating. Sweets and baked goods before bed feel comforting, but they come with a hidden cost. Sugar sends your insulin on a wild ride, and your kidneys kick into overdrive just to keep up. You're left exhausted, with brittle blood vessels and a tired heart, paying for a nighttime treat with hours of unrest. So what can you do about it? That's exactly what's coming up. Stay with me. Next, we'll dive into which foods are quietly fueling your sleeplessness, which ones could finally bring you rest, and the simple, comforting evening ritual that I, and so many others, have adopted for real sleep and real healing. Okay, now, let's open the kitchen door together and look at some of these so-called harmless foods that may be quietly stealing your sleep. Night after night, so many of us reach for savory snacks, maybe deli meats, a little bit of smoked fish, pickles, a handful of cheese, all washed down with a nice cup of tea or even coffee. It feels like comfort, a reward after a long day, but this little habit could be the reason you're waking up hour after hour. Here's why. Salty foods make your kidneys work overtime, desperately trying to clear the body from excess fluid before dawn. If your dinner had pickled vegetables, ham, or a few crackers layered with salted cheese, your body holds tight to fluid and then struggles all night to eliminate it, bit by bit, waking you each time. My dear friend Mike, who's called Ventura home for decades, battled these sleepless nights after adding just a couple of dill pickles to his evening plate. Before long, he realized those innocent pickles led to restless, broken sleep and a morning that left him feeling like he'd run a marathon. But snacks aren't the only saboteurs. Let's talk about something almost everyone misses: sweet foods. Cookies, cakes, chocolate bars, even a fresh slice of pie or sweetened yogurt, each triggers a surge in blood sugar, pushing your body to sweep out the overload, often between midnight and sunrise. That means more bathroom runs, more tossing and turning, and less of the deep, healing sleep your mind and heart so badly need. And don't forget drinks. While many believe a soothing herbal tea or even a mild coffee before bed eases us into sleep, both are natural diuretics. Even healthy teas, like the green or peppermint kind, urge the kidneys to move water out quickly. You might drift off just fine, but 2 hours later you're wide awake, making yet another trip in the shadows. There's even more. Fruit, that classic symbol of health, can backfire if eaten late. Those grapes, apples, or a bowl of berries, loaded with fructose, force your kidneys to filter harder, sending out excess water just when your body should be resting. And sometimes it's not just the food, but an unseen problem lurking beneath the surface: low-grade bladder inflammation, or for men, subtle changes in the prostate. Even a little bit of irritation can make your bladder hypersensitive, turning a perfectly ordinary night into a parade of sleep disruptions. Let's be honest, in most households, here in California or across the country, the routine is familiar. Dinner, a few snacks, perhaps a little dessert, a glass of something warm before bed. But these rituals, comforting as they are, can create an invisible web, sabotaging your rest one thread at a time. The good news? You have the power to rewrite this story. If sweets, heavy meals, and salty treats can turn your body into a nighttime alarm clock, what if simple, gentle choices could do the opposite? I've seen countless people reclaim their nights and their energy by learning just a few swaps. Next, I'll tell you about the foods and rituals that can become your allies instead of enemies. Foods that actually help you rest, slow down your body's nighttime work, and keep you sleeping soundly straight through until the sun rises. Let's talk about these real supportive foods and evening habits that can make all the difference. After years of trial and error, my own and many shared with friends, neighbors, and patients across the country, I've learned that sometimes the simplest ingredients are the most powerful allies. One that I return to again and again is plain, unsweetened yogurt or kefir. Now, this isn't some trendy supplement or expensive health drink. It's humble, it's familiar, and it's been a lifesaver for so many. Why does it work? When you reach for a small bowl of plain yogurt or a glass of kefir in the evening, you're giving your body something that doesn't flood your kidneys with excess fluid or sugar. Unlike tea or water late at night, these naturally cultured foods are easy on your system, quietly nourishing without adding to your body's to-do list. Plus, their good bacteria gently soothe inflammation, especially in your bladder and digestive tract, removing one of the common triggers for those nighttime wake-ups. Time and time again, I've seen this gentle fix change lives. My friend Sarah, who just moved to Tempe, Arizona, was desperate after years of sleeplessness, waking every hour, nervous about falling on her nightly journey to the bathroom. She always thought a little toast with smoked salmon and a sweet tea was her ticket to relaxation. But that combo kept her up more nights than not. When she switched out her evening snack for a small dish of plain yogurt a half hour before bed, it was like magic. Within a week, she told me, "Mary, I feel rested, truly rested, for the first time in years." Sometimes she adds a few berries or a sprinkle of cinnamon, and she's still sleeping soundly through until morning. Here's the science. Plain, unsweetened dairy calms inflammation, stabilizes the nervous system, and supports steady energy. A little quality protein, a trace of calcium, and plenty of live probiotics all combine to cool the body stress and keep your system quiet through the night. Just be careful with the store-bought flavored yogurts. Those are often packed with sugar, which can undo all the good you're aiming for. Instead, stick to a plain, natural variety or even a little cottage cheese if you're sensitive to acids. Not a fan of dairy, no problem. A handful of raw walnuts or almonds or a small piece of mild, low-salt cheese can provide the same gentle nourishment. For some, a spoonful of soft ricotta or cottage cheese has done wonders. If you prefer a plant-based option, look for plain soy or almond yogurt, unsweetened and simple. And don't forget your veggies. Roasted or steamed vegetables, think zucchini, broccoli, cauliflower, or a bit of butternut squash, work wonders late at night. Add a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and you're good to go. Not only do these veggies keep your kidneys calm, but they're packed with fiber and nutrients to support overnight repair. At night, think moderation. Don't overload your stomach and watch your drinks. If you need something warm, try half a cup of plain warm water with a slice of lemon, sipped slowly at least 30 minutes before sleep. No sugar, no honey, just the gentle warmth and the slightest bit of citrus to relax and settle your digestion. These small swaps night after night are what make the real difference. When my friends and I traded out salty snacks, heavy sweets, and diuretic teas for simple protein, cultured dairy, and gentle roasted vegetables, the change was almost immediate. Within a few nights, we were waking less, feeling more refreshed, and looking forward to morning as a new beginning, not a struggle. But that's not the end of the story. There's a final, simple evening ritual that's helped countless people, myself included, find peace at night, no matter how many restless years came before. And that's what I want to share with you next. Let me give you the one evening ritual that changed everything for me and so many others. Now, this isn't some magic supplement or complicated health hack. It's as simple as it gets, and if you give it an honest try, you might be amazed at what a small change can do. Every night, about half an hour before bed, pour yourself half a cup of warm water, just warm, not hot, and squeeze in a few drops of fresh lemon juice. Don't add sugar, don't add honey, just plain soothing flavors. Sit with it, breathe deeply, and enjoy the way it calms your senses. That gentle acidity supports your kidneys, helps ease irritation in the bladder, and gets your body in the right mood to rest rather dot. Then start another cycle of repairs right after you lay down. One of my old school pals, Diane from Denver, spent years running the midnight gauntlet, up, down, up again. After switching to this simple ritual, she started sleeping straight through, waking less often, and feeling an energy she hadn't known in years. If you struggle with stomach acidity, you can swap out the lemon for a tiny drop of apple cider vinegar, still gentle, still soothing. Of course, routines only work if you keep them up. The trick is to be consistent, to treat your evenings like a sacred wind down. Avoid heavy, salty, sugary foods at night. Skip the snacks that leave you thirsty or jittery. Bring in warm water, not pints of herbal tea. Give your body the gift of a quiet wind down, and watch as your sleep and your health starts to blossom little by little. Here's what I see again and again when folks, friends, neighbors, even skeptics make just a few of these changes. They start to fall asleep faster, wake fewer times, and when the morning sun rolls around, their first thought isn't, how will I get through today, ja will pointing ever feet Posha Fury. Isn't, how will I get through today? But rather, what do I want to do with all this new energy? But remember, purging your nightly routine of troublemakers is only half the story. The other half is finding what truly works for your body and soul and making it a habit. So whether you try plain yogurt, a handful of nuts, a bowl of soft veggies, or my favorite lemon water ritual, let yourself commit to it for at least a week. You deserve to feel the difference. Now, it's your turn to take part in this conversation. Leave a comment, let me know your name and where you're listening from. Nups Trefompses, Menaps, Tampa Bay. I'd love to hear from you, whether you're in Minneapolis, Tampa Bay, Houston, Salt Lake City, or a small town tucked between the mountains. Seeing those names and places reminds me that, together, We're building something bigger than one person's story. We're making a community of people who care about their health and each other. And as we come full circle, remember the evening hours hold the secret to better nights and brighter mornings. Don't let old habits decide your fate. Choose for yourself with every small step forward and see what new freedom feels like. As we wrap up, I want you to remember this is about reclaiming control over how you feel every day. Too many of us have been taught to just accept restless nights and low energy as an inevitable part of aging. But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be your story. I've walked this journey myself, and I've seen so many others turn things around, not with expensive medications, not with complicated routines, but with simple choices repeated night after night. Let's recap what truly makes a difference. Steer clear of the foods that disrupt your rest: salty snacks, cured meats, pickled foods, overly sweet treats, store-bought flavored yogurts, heavy greasy meals, and big mugs of tea or coffee at night. All of these can overwork your kidneys, throw off your body's chemistry, and keep your brain and bladder on high alert when they're supposed to be winding down. If something on your evening plate comes with a lot of salt or sugar, think twice. Your body will thank you the next morning. Swap these troublemakers out for gentle, supportive foods that let your system rest: unsweetened yogurt or kefir, a handful of walnuts or almonds, mild, low-salt cheese, a small bowl of roasted or steamed vegetables with a touch of olive oil. For a warm, calming drink, try my lemon water ritual: half a cup just before bed, no sugar needed. These simple changes can reset your nights in just a few days, and you might be surprised at how quickly your strength and clarity return. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Small shifts add up, and before you know it, waking up rested feels normal, just the way it should be. 8 out of 10 people I've helped have seen dramatic changes in just a week, sometimes sooner. The best part? You're doing this for yourself, taking ownership of your well-being, and showing those you love how possible real change can be. So share this video with your friends, with your family, with anyone struggling with sleepless nights. Add your voice in the comments. Let us all know what works for you, what new habits you're trying, and yes, what still keeps you up. I'm always here to lend my experience and offer advice wherever I can, because I truly care about this community we're building together. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. I'll keep bringing you proven advice and fresh ideas to help you stay healthy and strong, because you deserve nothing less. Take care of yourself. Every step, every new habit, every gentle choice you make adds to your resilience and your happiness. Real rest is possible. Sometimes all it takes is believing that a good night's sleep belongs to you at any age.